For everyone who wants to venture into the cloud for the first time, or you've got a seasoned background in network and security, fear not, we've got your back. Trev will help us for you to decide the top 5 AWS services essentials for network and security engineers. This is your learning journey. Trust us. These are game changers you don't want to miss.
Yeah, I it's funny. There's so many relevant services that are running through my mind right now. I'm going to try to boil it down to 5. I think if you're a network engineer,
no pressure. You can add two or 3 more.
All right, cool. Then I'll just start throwing them out there. Very first thing you're going to need to learn as a network engineer: VPCs and subnets. All right, that's the basic. That's the building block of networking inside of a cloud context. So you need to become very familiar with VPCs. And by the way, there's also a lot of services that kind of fall under that umbrella from a networking perspective. So the VPCs host subnets, and inside of those subnets, you would have security groups, and you might also attach elastic load balancers to instances that are in that subnet. So I think the load balancing services, the network security services, particularly around access list security groups and firewalls,
right,
and just the basic networking services are the right place to start. That would be like the basic networking toolkit in cloud for most folks. If you want to step it up a notch, if you're ready to really challenge yourself, or you already have some cloud networking experience, services like Transit Gateway are particularly relevant in the enterprise, because in enterprise worlds, or even in just large digital companies, you might have quite literally thousands of different VPCs that are interconnected. Transit Gateway is this really interesting AWS services that helps these really large environments interconnect all of their various VPCs in a secure way. So that's one that you might take a look at. And then I love playing with, because the reason I love CDN services is because in on-premise, like it's really hard to build a CDN on-prem. In cloud, it's crazy. You can use CloudFront and in an instant have a globally distributed content delivery network that's caching services at the edge. That you might hear this sometimes referred to as edge networking these days. That is a space that is relevant, and actually a growth space in networking too. So CloudFront is one. If you're already familiar with some basics of load balancing and layer 7 networking, check out CDNs and CloudFront. Lowers costs, increases performance, and just at a technical level, it's really cool stuff to learn. I think that was 5. Did I miss anything?
You can add more because we bundled VPC security, security groups, ELB. They are always tied together. Feel free to add more.
I mean, gosh, I'm just trying to think. I mean, certainly,
about security services.
Security services. Well, actually, first I'll focus a little bit more on transport networking, because I think I didn't mention VPNs and direct connects. So that's your on-off ramp to the cloud. So everybody needs to be familiar with those. VPNs are great because you can test them out and configure them for free. But direct connects, it's harder to get hands-on with, but you for practice, but you need to understand those. And security, like the security is where, if you're a security pro in networking, you can really broaden out and look at services like Amazon has DDoS protection services and vulnerability scanning services. Some that immediately come to mind: AWS Guard Duty, Amazon Inspector, Amazon Macy is a AI based data security service. Yeah. So if you want to start delving into data security, there's even services and technologies around that. So yeah, I think that's a great call out. If you're already bringing and this is actually a path I see happen a lot. If you already have a lot of networking security expertise and you bring that into the cloud, you're oftentimes invited to the table to start securing the other components of cloud, because you're already securing the cloud when you're configuring those firewalls and your web application firewall. So you know what's going on in your cloud environment. So it makes sense for you to start contributing at that point to vulnerability scanning and logging. And that maybe is the last one I'll call out here is CloudWatch. CloudWatch is the service that ingests all logs from Amazon, and that can be flow logs from your VPC, like
Flow
moving
logs.
packets around. That can be transactions that are hitting a load balancer. That can be allows and denies from your firewall rules. It is essential to troubleshooting and debugging networking in AWS. So that's one that everybody needs to know, not just network engineers, but yes, even network engineers are going to need to know a little bit of CloudWatch.
All right. You forgot WAF, where we associate LB and the CloudFront.
You're right. WAF is another a technology that's growing in popularity too. Like, I didn't hear as much about WAFs like maybe 6+ years ago, but now like every major application that I'm working on with customers, like WAF is required. So yeah, WAF is great, and a very flexible service. One cool thing about Amazon security services is WAF is a great example. You build a WAF policy and to lock down an application, but you can take that WAF and put it anywhere. You can put it on your CloudFront distribution. You can put it on a API gateway, which is kind of like an elastic load balancer, a little bit more dev centric. You can put it on an elastic load. Pretty much any service that's a proxy of some type in the cloud, you can put that WAF in there. So yeah, that's a great call out. WAF is an excellent one.
Thank you very much, Trev, for those wonderful insights. Any inspiring words to our audience, and for those who want to follow and subscribe to your social media accounts, how can they connect?
Yeah, thank you for that opportunity. So the first thing I would say to anybody, that whether you're trying to break into tech or whether you're trying to break into cloud from an existing technology field like networking, for example, we talked about a lot in this episode or in this session here, but my biggest piece of advice, and the thing I would really plead with people for is just don't get overwhelmed by how much there is to learn. Just know that the formula is, if you always are learning a little bit every day, every week, you're positioning yourself for success in your career. Now, I think cloud is positioned really well long term. If you don't know what to learn, go learn cloud. But if you wake up in the morning and you think about packets moving around routers, and you think about data centers, and you think about those more traditional technologies, and that's what gets you amped, that's where you're going to get the most ROI for your learning. So go learn what you are excited about, because there is certainly different specialties in tech that maybe can earn more than others or have more opportunity than others. But I think everybody is always best served professionally and personally by focusing on what they love and what they are passionate about. And if you want to hear more rants like that, you can follow me at Trev Spires, TREVSPIRES, on pretty much all social media. I'm most active on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. So would love to connect with you all, and send me a DM if you got any questions, and we will see you around the cloud community.
Thank you. Thank you, Trev.
Thank you, Dean, for having me on. It's been a blast chatting and getting to know you a little bit.